So since I posted that video about buying about $250,000 of NVIDIA options, which have gone up about 300% since, I've been getting a lot of people asking me about stock tips, what kind of stocks they should buy. Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's usually not a good idea to get stock tips from a guy on YouTube. I mean, even if the person knows what they're talking about, by the time you watch it, the market's probably already moved on. But this one, I think, is an exception. I don't know what day, month, or year you're watching this, but this stock tip probably is still going to work for you. And actually, for about 95% of people, it's the best stock you can buy. Now, I'm going to stop right now and remind you that all investments carry risk. You can lose some money, or you can lose a lot of money. So make sure you're informed and willing to accept the risk before doing anything that I talk about. That said, most financial advisors would agree that what I'm about to tell you is relatively one of the safest ways to make money in the stock market. It's made a lot of money for a lot of people over the years. And while I don't know if Warren Buffett has ever mentioned this stock by name, he has repeatedly called the idea behind it the best way to invest for the majority of people. Now get out your smartphone and download an app called Robinhood. You can use E-Trade or Scottrade or any other broker you want for this. I'm only recommending Robinhood because they don't charge fees for trading. And since the idea behind this is to add a few bucks whenever you can, you don't want most of your investment dollars being eaten up by fees. Well, once you've got it installed and you have your account funded, do a search for the stock VOO, V-O-O. Buy it. When you've got more money saved, buy more. Anytime you've got cash and want to invest in stocks, just buy more VOO. I'm sure you've heard the key to managing risk is diversity. So why would I tell you to put everything into one stock? Well, VOO isn't actually a stock. It's an ETF, an electronically traded fund. These are products made to track other things like the price of oil, bonds, whatever. In the case of VOO, you're buying a basket of stocks, 500 of them to be exact. You are essentially buying into the S&P 500, a collection of stock from 500 American companies. When people talk about the stock market being up or down, they're usually talking about the average of these 500 companies. By buying VOO, you've got instant diversification. In the 90 years since its inception, the S&P has returned an average of 10% a year to investors. And that's an average. Some years it goes down, other years like this one, it goes up by more. There are no guarantees with investing, but for 95% of people, the S&P 500 index is the best way to own stocks, and VOO is one of the cheapest ways to buy into the index. Now, by a lot of measures, the stock market is overvalued at the moment, so returns over the next few years could be lower. If you've got time to wait, though, it shouldn't matter. Trying to time the market is about as effective as picking individual stocks and shouldn't be attempted by most investors. Maybe 5% of people can do better than the S&P. It's definitely possible with a lot of work. In fact, I've tripled the return of the S&P in my own portfolio so far this year, but that took a lot of effort and no small amount of luck. As I mentioned in the book, the best option for most people is to focus on their income and let passive investments grow their savings. Until you have a ton of money to play with, you won't get enough returns to justify the amount of time it takes to actively manage a portfolio. Just keep adding to your VOO position as you're able to put more money into stocks. Remember to subscribe, and if you've got more questions, just ask them below in the comments.